What are the 4 types of marketing strategies? It's going to be imperative that you not only learn, you implement these as we move into 2023. We're recording in December of 2022. It's critical. If you want to make more money and you want to actually learn how leads can convert to sales so you have good cash flow, stay tuned. This video is going to rock it for you. So the 4 specific kinds that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about educational marketing strategies. I'm going to talk about paid advertising. I'm going to talk about how to use a podcast and how to use YouTube, because those are very different strategies. We do all of them, but there's specific times and guidelines and sequences for those of you, depending where you are. How big's your database? How much are you willing to spend? That's usually most people's problem. Beginning entrepreneurs, the reason they take so long to get from 0 to first 100,000 is they're unwilling to spend money to get there. And you don't have to have money to make money. You can totally start selling services based on your skill set today. Whatever you're really good at it. I don't care if you're good at cooking, then make some cooking videos. Like, you've got to start producing content as fast as you can. So let's begin with education, because that is where content belongs. So educational content strategies. Short form video is number 1 by far. And every social platform has a different algorithm. So like what we do here on this YouTube channel is extremely different. I'll talk about that in more detail later in the video. But we use this video and we use this content and this structure and we repurpose it for the algorithms of TikTok and Instagram and all the other social platforms. So we use this, we repurpose it, so we're multiplying the use of the content. I speak once, we probably use it another 8-10 times. But it has to be specific and laid out specific to the algorithms and to the timing of that video. I hire a team to help me do it because it's so much strategy around the algorithms. But as we continue to move forward into more technology and what's coming in 2023 and beyond, short form video, how-to content. The other one that is just, we're rocking it with, is I let people ask me any questions. So if you go to askloral.com, you can ask any question, make a request 24/7. I have an entire team that's orchestrated around answering those questions for you or putting you into our $17 a month membership where you can come live and ask me questions. Those of you, especially want to speak to my big table members that have been watching, I don't see you on Ask Lorals enough. And all I'm doing in the Ask Lorals is I end up doing like little business and money makeovers. Like I do 6 to 8 every time I come live the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month. And you're checking out versus checking in. If you're in the Millionaire program and you want to be a millionaire, you need to understand, like, why would I do the things I do to those 6 or 8 people? And again, I'm not giving advice. I'm just giving ideas, statements, exploring with them, and I'm educating them. Then they go off and do the work. But all of you that have been here and your goal is to learn, you need to be on this YouTube channel. So let's do that right now. If you're not subscribed, and click the notification button and then watch every day. We actually get statistics from this algorithm that show how many subscribers I have versus are you watching. I have way more subscribers than watch time, which means you're here, you're getting notifications, and you're ignoring me. That's a really bad idea. That's a really bad idea if you want to learn money. You need to be here and listen. Start a journal where you're writing something down every day that you're going to change with money. So as we move into 2023, that's my real big campaign. If you want to be free in 23, you got to have 365 new habits around money and business, which means you have to get up and not just emotionally get up as an entrepreneur. You're going to get up knowing I need to create 21 new leads and 2 new sales today. That is our minimum formula for anybody who wants to make 100 grand. You say, well, how do I get 21? Well, you build a database. So again, your educational content is built in a database. Now we can do it for you for about $1,500 a month. And you're never going to find a better value than that, because we're going to build your software stack. We're going to take your followers. Like if you go to Loral.club right now, LORAL.club, that is my social pull from following into my database. And you click right into my database, you get 2 free tickets to the Millionaire Intensive, you get an ebook copy of my Millionaire Maker. We ask you to then read the first 3 chapters and call our office for a strategy session. That exact funnel can be repurposed into your content. So I can take my top 7 funnels, very high education content process, hand them to you. You put your content in. We'll teach you how to do that. And we'll give you a social calendar blueprint of what you have to do every month, how often you post and all those things. But for $1,500 a month, you're not going to hire a team for any higher value. The biggest thing is to take people out of following position in your social channels into a database where you can monetize them. And that's where a lot of you have a gap. You're trying to run your companies on followers. And I can tell you, if you get put in your social media jail, I call it, like I've been taken off every social platform for at least couple hours to, a couple days. And then some situations like my Instagram is at Ask Loral, ASKLORAL. Why? Because the other ones are imposters. So until I'm verified, which is again, a lot of content, you have to do all of these things to be verifiable and like real out on the internet. And there's so much chaos out there. I call it the bathroom wall. Anybody can write anything about anyone. Some of you are so uneducated, you look at reviews. I mean, you should see our real reviews. We have more real reviews of real successful people than we have the whiny complaining ones. The whiny complaining ones, we take them straight on. We say, if you're gonna say a negative comment about me, why don't you get out behind your little text and your comment of your computer and call me, and then let's sort it out. So I take it straight on because I didn't do anything wrong. They're just lazy. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the work. I had a big table client call, well, it didn't work first round. Well, what did you do? According to our record, you only got coached once. You didn't get coached every week. You didn't come to calls. You didn't come to live events. Of course it's not going to work. There's no pixie dust in like success. You've got to do the work, and you got to do the right work at the right time. So education and content is critical. You're all an expert at something. Another way for you really super beginners to get educational content, and I have a lot of like younger kids doing this, and is interview other successful people, right? The Conversations with Millionaire book came from somebody living out of a car. He was literally homeless, super broke, and he said, well, I want to be a millionaire. I need to get close to him. So he opened up, I don't even remember, it wasn't even a podcast. I think it was like a little blog channel way back in the day, and interviewed all these millionaires. And voila, 5-7 years, I don't know how long it took him, but he became a millionaire, right? So all of you can do it. And if you don't have enough content, interview people who are in your space who have it. And then you'll start getting in their circles. This is exactly what I did when I was the distributor of the cash flow game. Now, number 2, paid advertising. So paid advertising is fabulous, but you need at least 1,000 followers in a database. And if you don't have a database and you just have followers, I wouldn't waste any money advertising until you get your rapid marketing system set up, where we can, for $1,500, do it all for you. You can click in the link below if you want to have an assessment to see if you're ready. People say, oh, I'm not ready for it. It's also something you're not going to get ready for. I would rather have you start as a beginner right away than do what I did in the beginning. Bob Proctor told me 21 years old, get a database. Whoever has the most monetized database is going to win. I thought, well, I don't even know what that means. He said, well, just keep every name, phone number, and email. I thought, man, I can do that. So I went from a spreadsheet. I went to Act. I went all open source. I had somebody custom design a whole database. That was a disaster. The system we use is decades old. It works. It's sustainable. I've taken that system to 38 million a year in companies. Like, it works. And if you want, you can API it to QuickBooks. So now you have marketing, sales, and accounting all in one system. So click on that link and get an appointment to see if we could just help you. But for paid advertising, unless you have a team who can really do the analytics, like we know where all of our students come from. We know whether they came from TikTok, if they came from LinkedIn, if they came from Clubhouse, if they came from this YouTube channel. We know if they came from Instagram, we know where they've come from. Can you pull that kind of data? And can you survive being in a social media jail for a few hours or a day or 2 days? Like, our TikTok channel has over 100 imposters. I always tell those imposters, so if you're one of them, I'm gonna speak to you right now. Instead of following me like a chicken and imposter and rip off my content, why don't you hire me? And then we'll get you some real content so you have a real channel. So you guys drive me crazy. I guess it's a compliment in some odd, screwed up way. So for a lot of you beginners, starting a Facebook group and again, getting our database system and getting a database where you can pull people out of following and putting some Facebook ads to and through those groups, that actually works. YouTube ads are very, again, specific algorithm, very specific structure on how to actually get traction and attention. It's more expensive, so probably not a place to start. TikTok, great place to get some paid advertising. Instagram, again, every one of them is different. So for you, the entrepreneur, if you're not an expert at this, you're going to have to hire a team. I can promise you the 2 big mistakes I made is I didn't do a database consistently. I kept moving my data, which was amazing, costly error, and I didn't hire fast enough. So don't make those mistakes. Get your database immediately, grow it immediately, and follow the expert advice of experts who know how to do this stuff. I don't. I'm just the content girl. You're going to be content. They do all the posting. They do the work. If you aren't willing to hire, then you're going to have to learn some of that, which I don't know that that's the best use of your time. You want to strengthen your strengths, hire your weaknesses. So a lot of you got to get this together, and you got to be willing to spend on marketing. And you need, marketing and accounting have a lot of correlation, but it's a lot of manual data analysis. Is where did the lead come from? What was the pathway, the customer journey to where they got? Like, you know, did I see you at Ask Loral first? Did I see you at a Millionaire Intensive and now you're on my YouTube channel? How did you get here? And how did you then, if you move forward, become a client? All that data is trackable through database structure and not through just following people around. Number 3, podcast strategy. So how do you monetize a podcast strategy? So with a podcast, a lot of them are audio because most people are out walking, running, driving, not watching. So we do a combination of audio and some video on my podcast, and it's your viewership, just like everything. If you have enough viewers and you have enough interviews. So I do a lot of what I call podcast reciprocals, where somebody who has a bigger podcast, I'm on theirs and then I'll have them back on mine. And then I do that for people that are, below where I am. I'll pull them onto my podcast, give them some exposure and vice versa. It's also a place when you use the proper database structure, you can put affiliate links. So you actually track how many people came from that interview that were new, how many people came from that interview that bought a new book or something like that. So podcast is a way to make money. You can also get sponsors and advertisers. So if you have a big enough following, you could get people to pay you monthly to be an advertising post inside your podcast, and you could get sponsors to actually circle around and frame your podcast as well. So there's ways to make money like that. And then the last one is YouTube. Like, how do you do this YouTube? On July 12th of 2021, we started this YouTube channel. It's very specific process, scripting, algorithms. How do you get paid on YouTube? Is you got to have the time, you got to have the viewership, you got to have the watch time. And then when people place ads on your channel, you make a % of that ad revenue. And then that money just comes into your account. So you can make money here on your YouTube channel. If you use products of a bigger company, you could get them to sponsor your ads. So you could say, I have a small following because I'm a beginner. I will endorse and tell everybody to go buy your product, and then they'll pay you some money, maybe $500. So at least you start getting some traction. And I can tell you, with sponsorships and ads coming to your channel, you're going to make more money. Your job is to produce enough content and then get enough following that people want to, be here every day and watch and binge watch you. By the way, if you want to earn up to $750 that you can credit towards tuition, not cash, it's a tuition credit, you can binge watch my channel. So click on the link below on how to binge watch my YouTube channel. And number 1, you need to get financial and business literate. That's my highest agenda. Not to help me monetize my channel. It's for you to actually understand this. Get the journal I talked about every day. What am I talking about? What's one thing you can add and implement into your life? What's a new behavior? Like just my 21 and 2 is something every one of you should be doing. 21 new leads a day, make 2 small sales. As you build that, that's $10,500 a month easily. And if you have a big offer down at the bottom of your funnel for your customer journey, 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 or more, you can easily do 20, 30,000 a month. So a lot of you're sitting on amazing skill sets, but you don't know how to monetize and you're not marketing properly. So again, use at least one of these strategies. Do educational content. That's easy for every one of you. Do some paid advertising if you're big enough for that. Do start a podcast, start interviewing. By the way, my podcast is Real Money Talks podcast. And so make sure that you click on that link, go follow my podcast, watch how we're doing it, and then be out here on my YouTube channel. And something every day I want you to implement into your life. Talk tomorrow.